Why do people fall in love with you? Is it your looks, your charm, the way you speak, or the energy you carry? What if I told you it's none of those things? What draws someone to you, what pulls them in, often so intensely they can't explain it, is not about the surface. It's not about your hairstyle, your humor, or how perfectly you play the part. It's about what you awaken deep inside them. Something unconscious, something ancient, something they don't even know they're searching for. Carl Jung, one of the most powerful minds in modern psychology, believed love isn't something that just happens. He said it follows a secret map, hidden in the architecture of the psyche. And when someone falls for you, they're not just falling for you, they're falling for what you represent in them. You see, love feels magical, but beneath the magic there's a pattern, an inner logic, a gravitational pull shaped by hidden forces, traumas, longings, forgotten dreams, and unmet needs. And Jung believed there are only two true reasons people fall in love with you. Two reasons that live beneath the mask you wear. And if you understand them, you'll never look at love or yourself the same way again. Before we dive in, if you're someone who's fascinated by psychology, depth, meaning, and how the unconscious shapes your relationships, you're in the right place. So take a second. Subscribe to the channel, because what you're about to learn won't just explain why people are drawn to you, it might finally explain why you're drawn to them. Let's go deeper. The first reason people fall in love with you is simple, yet deeply hidden. You reflect something they lack. Carl Jung called it projection. It's when a person unconsciously sees in you the very parts of themselves they've forgotten, rejected, or never had the chance to develop. You don't just attract them. You activate something sleeping inside of them. Imagine someone who has always played it safe, controlled, careful, emotionally restrained. Maybe they were raised to believe that vulnerability is weakness, that passion is dangerous, and then one day they meet you. You're expressive, bold, unapologetically alive. Suddenly they feel pulled to you, not just interested, enchanted. They might say, "You're everything I'm not." But what they don't realize is that you're not just different, you're a living symbol of what their soul is starving for. You are the echo of their unlived life. That pull they feel toward you isn't random chemistry, it's resonance. The unconscious mind recognizes you as a piece of them that's missing, a trait, a color, a fire they buried long ago. And in you they see the chance to become whole again. This is why love feels so intense, so consuming, especially at the beginning. It's not just about who you are, it's about what you represent. You might notice this pattern in your own life. Have you ever been drawn to someone who embodied a quality you felt you didn't have? Maybe they were adventurous when you were cautious, wild when you were structured, emotionally open when you were guarded. That attraction, it wasn't just desire, it was need. The unconscious reaching for what it feels is lost. And here's what makes it even more powerful. Most people don't realize they're doing this. They truly believe they're falling in love with you. But what they're really falling for is a part of themselves hidden inside you. This is why relationships can feel so intense at first and so confusing later. Because eventually the projection fades, the fantasy dissolves, and they're left with the real you, the full you. And if they haven't done their inner work, if they haven't learned to grow what they saw in you within themselves, the love starts to feel like a lie. But it wasn't a lie. It was a message. Love is a mirror. And the first reason someone truly falls in love with you is because you reflect something their soul is longing to reclaim. The second reason someone falls in love with you goes even deeper, into the symbolic heart of the human psyche. Carl Jung called it the anima and the animus, the inner feminine in a man and the inner masculine in a woman. But more than just gender, these represent the soul's opposite, the hidden half each of us carries within. And here's the truth: we are constantly searching for that hidden half in the people we meet. When someone falls for you, it's often because you embody the energy of their unconscious opposite. You become the physical expression of their inner archetype, not just a person, but a symbol, a spiritual mirror. For a man, the anima may appear in dreams as a mysterious woman, emotional, intuitive, nurturing, even chaotic. When he meets someone who reflects that energy in real life, something ancient stirs. It feels fated. He might say, "I feel like I've known you forever." For a woman, the animus shows up as strength, clarity, presence, even a kind of spiritual authority. And when she encounters someone who carries this symbolic weight, she doesn't just admire him, she feels a soul-level attraction, like gravity pulling her in. It's not about the person, it's about the archetype. You become their other half, not in the romantic cliché sense, but as the living form of something already inside them, something incomplete, something waiting to be awakened. This is why love can feel divine, sacred, almost mythological. It's also why people can't explain why they're drawn to you. You feel right to them, familiar, haunting, as if you've stepped out of their unconscious mind and into their reality. And that's exactly what Jung believed. Falling in love is often the psyche's way of trying to evolve by projecting the anima or animus onto someone else. That person, you, becomes the stage on which their inner growth plays out. They aren't just loving you, they're loving a part of their own soul that you've brought to life. And just like with projection, this kind of love comes with danger, because the more unconscious it is, the more powerful and the more fragile it becomes. When someone believes you are the only source of what they seek, they become dependent. Idealization turns into obsession, and when the image starts to crack, they feel betrayed. Not because you changed, but because their inner world is being challenged. But here's the beauty. If they're willing to face that truth, if they can see that what they found in you also lives in them, that's when transformation begins. The second reason people fall in love with you is because you awaken their inner archetype. You become the face of their soul's missing energy, not just a partner, a key to their own wholeness. But love like this, love born in the depths of the unconscious, comes with a price. Because what starts as awe can quickly become illusion. When someone falls in love with a reflection of themselves, when they love you for what they lack or what you awaken, they're not really seeing you, they're seeing through you. You become a canvas, a projection screen, a beautiful fantasy. And no one can live up to a fantasy forever. At some point, the image begins to fade. They start to see the real you, your imperfections, your contradictions, your truth. And if their love was built only on the projection, the connection begins to break. Not because something went wrong, but because reality stepped in. This is where the danger lies. If someone clings to the illusion, they may blame you for not being who they thought you were. The very qualities that once enchanted them now frustrate or confuse them. The intensity of love flips into disappointment, even resentment. But if they're willing to face the truth, if they're courageous enough to look inward, something extraordinary can happen. They begin to understand. It wasn't just you they were drawn to. It was a part of themselves, a part you helped them find. This is where love can transform from unconscious obsession into conscious connection, from fantasy into something real. Because true love, lasting love, is not about finding someone to complete you. It's about finding someone who reflects your own potential, your own soul, your own hidden power, and then doing the work to grow it within. And when two people both understand this, when both become conscious of what's really happening beneath the surface, then something sacred begins. A relationship not based on lack, but on growth. Not on projection, but on presence. Not on illusion, but on truth. So the next time someone falls for you, pause. Ask yourself, what are you reflecting for them? And when you fall for someone, ask, what part of me are they waking up? Because people don't fall in love with you the way you think. They fall in love with the part of themselves they discover through you. And the most powerful relationships are the ones where both people realize this and choose to love with their eyes open. So what does this all mean for you? It means that love isn't just about chemistry, fate, or perfect timing. It's a mirror, sometimes beautiful, sometimes brutal. And the people who fall in love with you are often falling for a version of themselves they've lost, denied, or never known. You are not just a person in their life. You are a symbol, a messenger, a trigger for transformation. But here's the part most people miss. This isn't one-sided. You're not just the one being projected onto, you're doing it too. Every time you felt magnetically drawn to someone, every time your heart raced without reason, or your soul whispered, "This is the one," you were seeing more than just a person. You were seeing an image from your own unconscious, a hidden desire, a forgotten wound, a silent longing. We don't just love people, we love what they represent. And that's not a flaw, that's the beginning of real self-discovery. Because the more conscious you become of these hidden dynamics, the more you see beyond the illusion, the more power you have. The power to love someone for who they truly are, not just for what they awaken in you. And the power to be loved, not as a fantasy, not as a missing piece, but as a whole person. This is the work Jung pointed to, the deeper path, the alchemy of turning projection into presence. And when you walk this path, love becomes more than emotion, it becomes evolution. So the next time someone says, "I think I'm falling in love with you," remember, there are only two real reasons. Because you reflect something they've lost, or you awaken something they've never known. And in both, you are not just loved, you are seen by the unconscious itself reaching out through the mystery of another human being. If this spoke to something inside you, something deep, something real, take a moment now, subscribe to the channel, because this is what we explore here, the mind, the soul, and everything between. And if you're ready to see love for what it truly is, not a fantasy, but a doorway, you've already taken the first step.